Hi everyone and welcome back to Sunday League Champions League. Chris here, aka Big Will, and today we have the two league games for you. We are away against Wimbledon and at home against Millwall. Since we last with us, we've only had one league win in our last three games. We actually played Millwall away, incidentally, and lost by 3-1. Followed it up with a home draw at 0-0 against Notts County. The win that we had was 1-0 against Oxford. We managed to beat Manchester City's under-21s in the Virtue Trophy, but then we did get knocked out of the FA Cup by Blackpool. And obviously, the episode is going to be called Risky Business. We have rejected a contract offer from Oldham to extend our stay for a further 3 years. Now, the main issue I've got, as we've alluded to in numerous episodes, is the lack of coaching course availability. They are not sending me on coaching courses, and as such, it's not allowing me to progress my career as a manager. So we're at a bit of a stalemate at the moment. I am putting in applications for other jobs as well. It'll be interesting to see if anything comes back. There is one very interesting job actually in the championship that I'm looking at the moment as well. I have actually applied for the job, and so we'll see how things go realistically. Obviously, we may not hear anything in today's episode, but if anything does come of it, we will come back relatively soon after, I would say, to see what happens. So going into today's matches, I'm not overly sure what to expect from the side. There'll be a little bit of rotation involved, I think. We've got a lot going on in terms of fixtures in December, so we do need to keep that rotational option. Bishop is going to be in goal today with Tasker, Bowman, Atkinson, and McFarlane at the back. One and Wusu and Sidibe in midfield with Kellyman, Jankovic, and Sulijmanovic as the front three. Goals are still a little bit hard to come by at times. I still think we're playing the right formation, to be honest, for this team. I think what it comes down to realistically is the quality. I think that is where we are just falling a little bit short at the moment. But, it'll be interesting to see how we get on. It's actually the first time I've loaded up for about a week and a half or so, potentially even 2 weeks thinking about it. But obviously, there's been a big new update that's come to the game as well. I'm not too sure on the ins and outs of that update, but it'd be interesting to see if anything changes as we are looking at everything in game. Obviously, from our perspective, we did get beat in the FA Cup by Blackpool, so that is the last game we're going off, in that we got beat quite heavily. So going into these two matches, I'm just hoping for decent performances, and yeah, we'll just see how things go. I don't think we're playing badly at the moment, and obviously in terms of the league table, we are sat in that lower half of the table, but at the minute, realistically, we were expected to get relegated, so we are still performing quite a way above expectations, hence why the board wanted me to sign a new 3-year contract. So yeah, there's a lot to consider at the moment. And obviously if we do get a job offer from, say, a championship club, we're obviously going to move because realistically the money that's going to be on offer is going to be a lot better as well. And we have to play it realistically. Oldham aren't allowing me to progress, so realistically, I think we would be looking to move. And Sulijmanovic does well to win that header, but it goes just over the bar. Well worked down the left-hand side, McFarlane it was, with the cross. And early stages are looking quite good. We've been the dominant side so far, albeit not seeing too much of the ball, but when we have got it, we are creating opportunities, bad looks of it, as Piers manages to make that claim quite comfortably. And I don't know what he was doing there. I thought for a minute he was just going to boot it into the back of the net, but good header on from Correa. Wallace Ming picking up here for the Dons, swung in. Coburn is there with a header, and he couldn't get enough power on it. And it was a comfortable save for Neil Bishop, and he just launches it forward. Looking down that left-hand side, Sulijmanovic couldn't quite get to it, and nothing happens from there. So currently at 0-0, as I've said. I mean, they've actually had more attempts on target than we've had, but we are creating the more opportunities in general. So it'll be an interesting one to see what kind of balance we can strike from it. But we will have to wait and see if we can find the breakthrough. Goals have been at a bit of a premium. I know we're playing with the target forward as well, but we do need that focal point up front. But we've got Jankovic and Kellerman cutting inside as well as those inside forwards. So realistically, there should be plenty of support there anyway. But at the minute, I think we are just lacking that little bit of quality just to push us through these kind of matches. Again, we're creating the opportunities. We've just not quite got the quality to be really clinical at the moment in this division. As O'Brien finds Correa, and Wusu does well to grab a hold of that, and now Sidibe plays it forward. Jankovic doing well, coming into the centre of the pitch there, switches the play superbly. Kellerman picks it up. He's got Sulismanovic only in the penalty area, and Wusu lays it across, and O'Brien intercepts and clears. Jankovic was the man on the edge of the area, but the attempt at the pass was quite poor. Tasker does really well there, though, to slow the move down. Good pass forward. Sulismanovic spreading it to this left-hand side. McFarlane picking it up, trying to get past his man. Good footwork from the left back, and he's done really well, and he's managed to get the cross in. And again, there's not really anyone in there to aim at the minute. And Kellerman, he swings it in this time, and Jankovic is at the far post. It's cleared away. Sidibe to Sulismanovic. That's a really good effort. Really tight and close space. The defender did quite well to close him down there, and the strike goes just wide. Obviously, still right at the start of the second half. It would be a great time for us to try and take the lead, but highlight is continuing. Correa down the left-hand side into Wallace Ming. And Oni does well, and Bowman lays it back to Bishop, and it's going to be comfortably away for Tasker. Now Sidibe launched forward again, and Kellerman. I mean, it stayed in, and Kellerman's got there. Chance to get it into the penalty area. Does really well, but again, nothing coming from it. And again, the highlights still continuing. Atkinson into Nwusu. And now Kellyman trying to get past his man. Can he get the strike away? No, he can't. Again, forced out wide, but he's managed to cut into the penalty area a bit. And a sliding challenge there by Isenga. No foul. Tasker plays it in, and Sulismanovic has managed to score. So at least there was something coming at the end of that highlight. We kept recycling possession, and the header, I think, came off the inside of the post in the end. And Tasker do really well to beat the defender to that. Swings it in, and Sulismanovic glancing header off the inside of the post. And honestly, it's a deserved lead right at the start of the second half. And this could be a really big 3 points for the team if we can hold on to it. We've certainly deserved it based on the general run of play. But it has, realistically, it's been quite an even game. And as things stand at 1-0 with an hour played, we can be quite pleased. In terms of player fitness, just having a look down the bottom there, there's not really an awful lot to worry about, but we have been very lacking in creativity today from out wide. Both Kellyman and Jankovic have been very poor today. So we're going to get Gennaro on, and I think we're going to push Sulismanovic out wide as well. And then we're going to get probably Andrich. We'll give him a bit of a run out today and see if he can get himself going. Again, his chances in the first team have been limited. Sulismanovic and Mbik have largely been rotating as the striking options, but big opportunity for the big man up front, and we'll see if he can get anything from today's game. Wilhoff King, good tackle again from Tasker. He's had a really good game, I think, actually, today, Tasker. Rating a 7.8 at the moment. Sulismanovic, Andrich, great play. Gennaro is in, and unluckily, he is offside. He's only scored 1 goal this season, Gennaro, incidentally. It's not been a particularly good season for him because he was a standout performer, of course, last season, and he's just not really got going. Good header there from Atkinson. Andrich couldn't quite get onto it. The only thing with Andrich, I think, is he's not particularly mobile like Mbik is, despite the fact that, I mean, both of them have got the height, of course, so that target forward role is ideal for them. But he's just not as mobile as Mbik is. Mbik's got the pace behind him. Andrich, not quite as much. Woolston here with a free kick, and it's not a bad effort. It's gone just over the bar, but it remains 1-0. And with 10 minutes to go, I'm relatively pleased. We're just going to pause there again for a moment and just have a look again. Sidibe struggling a little bit fitness-wise. We're going to get Connor Barron on for him and struggling again at fullback. So we're going to get Gordon on at right back for Tasker because he is tired, but also he was on that yellow card. So I think that is an important move to make. And then McFarlane can come off for Joe, and Atkinson can go out to left back. Again, slightly poor ratings in some of the midfield areas as well. It's just not really connected as much today. It's been a little bit disjointed, but if we can hold on for the 3 points, then absolutely ideal. Atkinson coming down this left-hand side. Plays it forward to Sulejmanovic, who, again, he got the goal earlier. He's been a little bit quiet since. That's a great cross for Andrich, and Andrich really should be hitting the target from there. The 6'4" striker, free header, has to hit the target in those situations. But I mean, Wimbledon haven't been that prolific either, really. I mean, we've had 20 attempts at goal. Only a fifth of them have been on target. And they've had 3 on target out of 13. So both sides not really looking too clinical. But a 1-0 win, we will certainly take. A really good 3 points for us. And yeah, we can be very, very pleased that we've got the 3 points on the board. As I mentioned, I've applied for a championship job as well. So we'll have to see how things go with that. Again, I don't know if we'll hear back on in today's episode. We've got Millwall coming up at home, which is only in 3 days. So, yeah, from a general perspective, it is very close knit with everything at the moment. As you can see, it's the Plymouth job that I've applied for. That's at 22nd in the championship at the moment, but they are within touching distance of quite a few teams just above them. So realistically, I think that that could be quite an interesting job. Also, in their first team, they got 53 players in their first team. So very much a big potential for a rebuild on that as well. And we'll see what happens going forward on that. So we'll see what happens for the minute. Bear with me, and we'll come back for the Millwall game in a few days. And obviously, if we do hear anything about the Plymouth job, hopefully we will, then obviously we'll come back for that. So bear with me, and another game to come. Well, welcome back. This could happen very quickly, couldn't it? Plymouth have offered us a job interview. So this could be very, very interesting. Obviously, from a financial perspective, I think that the club um, is in a much better position. Um, Despite offering you an interview, the board do have reservations about your suitability to deliver the club's vision, mainly as a result of your lack of experience in guiding teams away from relegation. Um, I mean, does it count when we were tipped for relegation in League Two and then got promoted instead? Does that count? And obviously, at the moment, we're tipped for relegation in League One, but we're still defying expectations there. So, not too sure on that comment, but let's see what Plymouth have to say. Um, so, Amit Bhatia. Hello, Christopher. Thank you for agreeing to speak to us so we can put forward our vision for the club and allow you to suggest any alterations should you become our new manager. Lovely old stuff. Your managerial experience lacks variety in our opinion. Can you tell me why you've only worked with a small selection of teams? I've not really had chance to manage more than a couple of teams because I'm still in the early stages of my managerial career. Why are you thinking of making what some people would describe a sideways move in management? Really? A sideways move? I mean, realistically, I'd say Plymouth are a much bigger club than Oldham Athletic, but either I'm overestimating Plymouth or their chairperson is very much underestimating the club. There aren't many differences between the two teams. I have no concerns about making such a move. Um, I think I'm keen to keep progressing, and I'd love the opportunity to do that here. Incidentally, where I live now, Plymouth is actually relatively close. It's still a couple of hours drive away, but yeah, it'd be quite an interesting one to be able to go and manage there. With your team currently defying expectation in the league, are you perhaps looking to take advantage of moving while your stock is high? I've done a good job there, but I've also taken them as far as they can go and feel the time is right for a new challenge. I mean, I'd probably say I've done well there, but it's time to move on and take the next step. Because realistically, I think that, yeah, we could move things on a little bit with Oldham, but at the same time, they're not allowing me to progress. So there's not really an option for something like that. You've developed a reputation for applying for other jobs while still employed. What's all that about? Um, do, 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 do. I feel that's acceptable when you consider how long I've been in management. That's probably not what they want to hear. On each occasion, I wasn't enjoying myself. Well, that's a lie as well. It was my choice, and I stand by my decisions. It shouldn't matter to anybody else. We'll just dismiss it, see what gets done from that. Can you explain why I appear to be in the running for a few jobs right now? I'm exploring my options. Um, I've got a good account. I've got a good record when it comes to meeting expectations. That is very true. So we can put that through. This club has been underperforming for far too long. Are you the right person to turn things around? I'm a motivator. I always adopt a positive attitude, and it's infectious in the dressing room. A happy squad is a winning squad. I certainly agree with that. Are you comfortable working with David Fox? I mean, he's an average director of football, I suppose. Um, yeah, I'll say I'm more than happy to work with him to start with. If hired, we would expect you to avoid being part of the relegation battle. Is that fair, or do you think you can do even better? I would be able to avoid a relegation battle. Pros transfer budget of £1 million to be suitable should you get the job. I think that's absolutely fine. Having looked at the size of the squad, realistically, there's a lot of players that could potentially be shipped out. And a wage budget of nearly 400,000, yep, that's absolutely fine. And I have no requests to propose. Right then. Apparently I'm set for the job, so this could be very interesting. So bear with me, and I'll skip through a few of the other matches, and we'll see what they can come back with. And hopefully, we may end up with a new job in today's episode, which would be certainly a big change of pace. Well, then, things are materialising. We have been offered the position at Plymouth. Now, obviously, the board want to keep me at the club, which is very much understandable. Um, I'm very, I, what I'm going to do, I'll tell you what I will do, because there used to be a glitch with this. So I'm going to save the game first and see exactly how things develop. And yeah, then we'll have a look and see what happens in relation to this in relation to this offer. Obviously, Oldham, realistically, they're not going to be offering me a huge pay rise, even if I wanted a new contract with them. What have Plymouth got to say? I mean, they've offered me a 2-year contract at 6.5 grand a week. That is quite a considerable pay rise. And I think, to be honest, that we can probably squeeze a bit more from that. Um, yeah, I think, to be honest, I'm not even going to do the meeting with our board. I think realistically we're going to Plymouth regardless here. I mean, a 2-year contract offer's fantastic. I mean, we'll see if we can squeeze even a little bit more out of them. I mean, yeah, 7.5 grand a week. It's almost quadruple what we're on now. In fact, I think it's more than quadruple what we're on now. And there we have it. It's been a fantastic couple of seasons here at Oldham, and we have a promotion to our name. And there we have it. We are now manager at Plymouth Argyle. Certainly not something I was anticipating today, but there, we've gone and got it done. Wage-wise, they are overspending a little bit, but as I said before, the squad is huge. In relation to the championship, well, obviously we'll just have a quick look around at everything now. They've actually won a few games since sacking their manager, so they're actually out of the relegation zone at the moment, and they're 6 points clear of it. So, I mean, realistically, I think we've done really well to get this job. They've got plenty of young players in there. There's a few players who are out of contracts, of course, as well. A lot of young players with plenty of potential looking at that. But you can see how many players are in this first team squad. There's quite a few that are loaned out as well. So obviously there will be plenty of work still to do. They've got a couple of really decent strikers there. They've got 20 goals between them in 25, 26 games. So certainly plenty of optimism. The only thing is that I'm looking at there, there's not really goals from anywhere else in the squad, which could be why they've struggled quite a lot here. But yeah, we'll have a proper look at the squad. What I'll do an extra episode tomorrow, I think. Um, and yeah, we will get everything squared away and we'll have a proper look at the club. And obviously, there's going to be a staff turnaround, there's going to be player turnaround, there's going to be a lot going on. But yeah, welcome to Plymouth Argyle. So until next time, guys, thank you very much for your support. Please like, subscribe to the channel. It is all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time for a brand new chapter in this year's Sunday Leeds Champions League. This is Big Will, signing away.